Non-fungible idiots, don't you know? Banging our heads to the rhythm of the code. We don't care about dollars or the shiny blade. We're just holding to zero. It's our everything. Round tripping positions, that's how we roll. We won't make a dollar, won't sell a thing. We're the zero holders, our anthem we sing. Zero holders, our anthem we sing. Zero holders, we're the kings of the sea. The non-fungible idiots will live in the dream. We're all on the zero, it's our way to be. In the world of NFTs, we're wild and free.
Happy fucking Friday, guys.
Woo!
It is that day. It is that day.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't want to talk about NFTs at all today. Not going to lie.
Nothing happened. Market's up. Who cares? Let's go.
Is that
Let's
true?
talk about
Nothing,
movies.
not a
What
lot
movies
happened?
are you guys watching this weekend?
Yeah, well, my kids are preparing for a Star Wars marathon. Literally.
Oh, hell yeah. It's tomorrow, right?
Yeah. In fact, probably in like 3 hours for you. You get a head start. You
That's
lucky
very true.
bastard.
2.5.
GM's guys. Who's all here? I know I saw Further on first. He claimed it. He claimed it today. Ooh, somebody should do some kind of like POAP or a giveaway for whoever gets their first in. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Is it?
Yeah, I don't like POAPs anymore. It's so fucking 2002.
Cardno, don't listen. Don't listen to him, buddy. Aqua, don't listen. Don't.
We're still doing POAPs? Is that a thing?
POAPs are like a little, I don't know.
Don't listen, guys.
I'm with you, Joe.
It's like a pin that you pin on your shirt that says "loser." You know what I mean? It's like
No, guys, I'm so sorry.
If you like pins, then you should like POAPs.
People like pins, dude.
I bet you
they
the
go to
loser
Disney.
pin, one of the best selling pins there is the loser pin.
Oh my god.
Yep.
All right,
I
anyway.
love this from Joppy. The sound of opening a can of beer and then the NFT Inside song makes for a good Friday.
Ooh, I like that.
Hell
man.
yeah.
Dude, that's
You know,
awesome.
I love Joppy so much because his name kind of reminds me of my name. So I'm always like, Joppy, that's my guy.
That's
Hey.
weird as fuck because it's
Yeah.
nothing like your name.
Not at
You
all.
don't think so?
No. Did something happen to Runes? I'm kind of curious. Hang on. I'm
something-
behind the scenes. I'm pulling it up.
No, I think something must have happened to Runes because Henry's already acting like an asshole to me for zero reason.
Wow.
Just zero reason. Just fucking ripping right out of the
Nah,
gate.
bro.
Dude, they
There's a
look
little
fine.
sully. There's a
No,
little
how you
sully.
doing? No, how
Oh,
are
Joe,
ya?
always good to see you, bro. Like whatever happens on the daily basis to anything,
Yeah.
when I say I don't care, like imagine it. Yeah, no, it's kind of
Henry's
why
a
I
big
put
picture
out
guy.
I put out a tweet yesterday, and I said, "Children of degens, CODs. This is going to be the least productive generation ever." I wanted to
saw
go a little
that.
harder into that tweet and have like a little kid in the corner holding a teddy bear, maybe crying, because that would be, you have degens who literally are their emotions are swayed worse than like my teenage daughters, where it's like, oh, today we're up, oh, tomorrow we're down, oh, today we're up, and what happened? And it's just neurotic. Like we're on the highway and we're heading for like thousands of miles right now, right?
I hate
like,
to pull the card here, Henry, but like as you bitch about people and degens being so emotional, it does seem like you get super worked up about it. So I mean, it's
sort of I gotta find a way to. It's
every
type of
every generational argument forever. Like we think the generation below us is lazy. The generation above us think we're lazy. The generation above them, we're just busy fighting a war.
My
Generation above them,
My
lazy.
generation is definitely lazy, dude. My generation.
Oh, we suck.
Joe, there's a big difference between like, okay, your kids can be obnoxious, right? Like they can be annoying, they can really test you, right?
Yeah.
And you as a human can feel that, and then you start to get like a little bit like upset or emotional about it because you're like, man, we fucking stop already. But just because you're feeling that way and maybe expressing it doesn't mean that you're doing it for the same reason that they are, right? It's like you're causing this conflict within me because you just won't stop. I'm trying to tell you, chill out. Everything's cool. It's all good. It's all good. Just relax a little bit.
Things are fine. We measure plans in centuries.
Dude,
this is a weird show.
Thank you.
Big picture. I like Macro Henry.
Macro Henry.
It's a good vibe.
Macro
good
Henry.
Like, don't sweat the small stuff. Zoom out.
Zoom out, baby.
Thank you.
If we zoom out, we're doing this.
Let me take my sunglasses off for a second. Let's zoom out. Let's talk. Let's think about this in the macro.
Sit down and rap with me, brother.
Our boy OGK is here. I like this guy.
I like OG.
I also, for a second, thought that you were wearing a Detroit Lions hat. I got very confused.
Who?
Oh, that's the fucking buffalo.
It's a buffalo. It's Bills.
I got some new hats in.
The only team in New York.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's right. The only team in New York, baby.
Check it out.
There's been a lot of demand for those hats. Are you going to be giving those away?
I guess mine's still in the mail.
Believe it or not, I'm not giving any of these away. I just
Bro,
wanted it.
You are already branding decentralized?
I wanted a fresh hat for every day of the week.
Wow, good for you.
So,
and a crypto slam.
yeah.
Was there like a camo one? A camo one was really cool.
Oh, by the way, Pacers won and the Knicks won. So Peter,
Hell yeah.
Oh,
we will be seeing you guys in the next round of the semifinals.
Pacers Knicks, man, that goes back.
That's awesome, dude.
To the
Good
Reggie
matchup.
days.
Great memories of when we were kids watching those games, those matchups.
Reggie Miller, the Nick killer, baby.
Who's who's favorited in that matchup?
I would assume the
Gonna be
Knicks.
the Pacers? Knicks?
Knicks, I'm assuming.
Knicks and four.
Jalen
Let's go.
Brunson is a dog, bro.
Oh, dude, he's balling out, man. I love it.
Give it.
Breaking
news.
Not even breaking news, but guys, do us a favor. Let's do this one. Make sure you're liking the show, guys. Make sure you're sharing the show, guys. Get it out there. Tell you what, we are almost definitely not fucking talking NFTs today. We're going to react to some videos. If you have something ridiculous you need us to see, you want us to see, fire it our way. Drop it in the comments.
Get any more ridiculous than yesterday?
This is gonna be one of the stupidest shows ever. I can almost guarantee it. Let's kick it off with the kind of energy we're bringing today. You ready for this?
Ready.
Okay. This is our kind of training. This is how we get in the zone. This is it. This is it, boys. This is how we train. This is what goes on before the show. This is the pregame.
Is there a guy in there?
Yeah. He's cutting weight. He takes it serious, bro. Just like we do. This is us before the show.
Just having a
Huddled
little
up. What's that?
They just having a little cuddle? What is this? What's happening?
I'm not too sure.
What's he prepping for?
This is a guy that's fighting in the UFC at 301. Okay, so he's cutting weight, and I think he's almost dead. I don't know why the guy's on top of him, though. I'm not sure exactly what's happening
So
here.
is the guy underneath whose head's poking out? Is he's the guy fighting?
The guy underneath that's getting his head rubbed. Oh,
Right.
I think he just got finished off. Or, again, he might be having a seizure. Like, it's pretty weird what these guys do.
Is he in like a sleep sack?
I think he's in something that's going to keep him sweating. I don't know if the other guy's like monitoring his heart, but they got machines that could do that, I'm sure. I don't know what the guy's on top. It might be more of like heat on top of him.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, this is hospice.
But like it's crazy. Like this is real. This is not some like weird ass parody thing. He's a real UFC fighter. This is how he's cutting weight.
This is before the fight.
This is this is like I think weigh-ins are like right around now. I got to look all this up and make sure what I'm saying is true. But like I think this is like very recent. And again, like weigh-ins, and then the big fight's coming.
Oh, so he's trying to like sweat it all out.
Yeah, he's sweating it out.
You have to weigh in for the weight limit that you're at. They never fight at the actual weight limit they're at. They fight lower so they can be stronger. So they basically cut weight with sweating and all that sort of stuff. Maybe he got jerked off a little bit in there.
You gotta dehydrate. You gotta get it all out.
Hey, everything goes in the heat sack.
Every little bit counts. And so they get weighed in, and they immediately start to fucking drink and eat as soon as they get weighed in. Like you see,
pretty
What if
cozy.
you guys are wrong on it, and it is not that, and it is genuinely some end of life ceremony for one of their fallen bros?
That could be
And
it.
they're like,
Could be it.
Well, his name is Elvis Brenner. Footage of his UFC 301 weight cut, and like Assassin's saying, you can definitely die from that, and people have died from that. And maybe just wanted to be held on his way out.
Jesus,
it's possible. Anyway,
Weird.
that's what you're in store for today, guys. A
Mm.
little bit of that, maybe a lot of bit of that. But feed us, boys. If you got more, we're ready for it. Yeah. Okay.
It also looked a little bit like Huda's high school sleepover parties, and he was a little bit younger. So
It's not different at all.
no,
Just
like
just
it's
a
not,
Friday night
doesn't
with
look
the
a
boys.
little like it.
a little head rubbing.
It's so dangerous. Why is
What?
it so dangerous?
It-
Just
well,
bros hanging out, right?
because you're like you're taking yourself like pretty close to like a very unsafe place dehydration wise. Like it's not good. Yeah, somebody died. I thought they changed some rules when it came to cutting because of that last person that died.
Yeah, they definitely have. I don't think anybody cares about the rules. So, yeah, no,
It's crazy.
it's just what happens. Guys, it's the Meebit's third birthday today. That's
how
it.
could that be? Was that how?
Do you guys remember when we learned that the mint was coming? Do you remember that show?
Sort of,
There was
kind
a
of.
story.
Yeah, how many months after Bored Apes was? No, oh, this is Punks. Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
Bored Apes was like their birthday was a couple days, like last week or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
Right.
This is when they were still owned by Lava Labs, right?
yeah, and
This-
they gave them all away. And Pranksy was like live streaming, getting like I don't even know, like 150 of them or something crazy like that.
Yep. Oh man, I remember that. But I remember
nice.
this being a big old deal and us getting the alpha.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bought one.
Us together, right?
Yeah.
It was Carlini. He's like, guys, I got a secret. Something big's coming. Do you remember that, Henry?
Oh,
I remember.
I paid
remember.
3 ETH or 2.5 ETH on the Dutch auction, and I
Damn.
minted one. Yep, I had like a red-haired female. I was so excited, dude. It felt, but I remember Carlini being like very. It was all riddled with mystery. It wasn't just like, hey, here's what's happening.
Carlini's riddled.
was-
Carlini can tell you a direct statement and it's riddled with mystery. Like you never know what Carlini's saying. Like when he's saying good morning to you, you're like, is it though? Like, are you
Right.
saying it
Wait,
is?
you guys don't get direct statements from him?
No.
No,
I got some
He has a
direct
restraint
statements
What is
from
your
him.
friendship like? He's a weird dude.
I've been friends with him since I was 11, so that is now 23 years.
Man,
I've been friends with him a long time.
that's
We should-
crazy.
we should
He should
post
come on
it.
here sometime, and it should just be his hand.
You should post his Twitter up just so people know who we're talking about.
I'm
Oh,
trying to
yeah, yeah,
find-
let me
I'm trying to
introduce
find
you
the
guys to
latest
Carlini.
time he insulted me for a direct statement.
Oh my god. Hang
I'm
on.
having to scroll back like further than I thought.
So what
No,
are
it's
the
probably-
Huda,
yeah,
what
go
are the copyright infringement rules when it comes to
Okay.
different clips that we can show?
Pretty much if there's any sound playing will get got. It doesn't matter. Like we don't make money on advertising or anything, so it really doesn't matter. I just don't know what things actually get you a strike, where if you get 3 strikes, they delete your channel. So I don't know that stuff well enough yet.
It's usually if we're talking over it and stuff like that, then it kind of mitigates it. It's the same as like playing songs on podcasts and stuff.
Because I was thinking of today's show and you were like, we're talking about movies and music, and I was like, it'd be cool is like finding your like what's Huda's favorite moment in a movie and can we watch it? You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
You just saw it.
I was listening to a podcast earlier, one of my favorite podcasts, and they were reviewing all of Christopher Nolan's 12 movies
Ooh.
on the basis of are they a laugh or not? As in, like, is that like a fun time? That was just a really fun show. Had a couple of beers, getting
Nice.
loose Friday afternoon. It's nice.
Chris Nolan's fucking great. One of my favorite movies ever is Interstellar.
Unbelievable film.
Man.
Unbelievable film.
Space movies
I've
get
never
me.
seen it.
Like, oh my god, dude! Space movies get
Dude.
me in the feels, and that movie in particular gets me in the feels extra because it's like a really good family story, and it like makes me think of my girls. And
They were
son,
just
and,
talking
that-
about it.
is that
and I was
Matthew
like, just
McConaughey?
welling up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
amazing
Is
movie.
Jodie Foster in that one?
No,
No.
so you're thinking Contact, I bet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But
Very different.
I love space. My favorite horror movie is Event Horizon. Like probably Devil's Rejects, but Event Horizon's like way up there.
All right.
I
my favorite
love space movies.
My favorite horror movie is Exorcist.
Oh, dude, no,
A classic.
no. That is the scariest horror movie of all
Yeah.
time. Oh my god. There's something with our generation too. I put it on for my kids and they laugh.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
They want like Possessed, they
Yeah.
want like, or The Conjuring, they
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
yeah.
They They like the movies that rip off everything from the actual scary movies and repackage it in a brighter, prettier way, basically.
Horror's had like such a renaissance recently, though, right?
Oh,
like,
dude, so much that it's almost dead.
Scary shit.
Yep, agree. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Hey, I have an idea, real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I think let's just do this for the show, just have fun and chit chat about whatever, guys. Again, if you got crazy, stupid shit like videos, drop them in the chat. Also, if you have any real NFT stuff that you want us to talk about, also drop that in the chat. I have links though. I do have stuff lined up to just throw on the screen and chit chat about briefly. How about I just hit the breaking news thing whenever I want to insert one in, and we'll watch a video. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I'm into it.
Okay, that was it.
Has anyone ever had an encounter or some experience with something that they would consider a ghost? Anyone?
No. I say wife, we're not actually married yet. It's happening, which is why I refer to it as such. My fiance works in a hotel, which is a grade 2 listed building. Grade 2 listed building in the UK means super old, older than your country probably. And apparently that's haunted.
Oh,
she hasn't seen a ghost, but she's seen other people that said that they have seen a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Older than your country. That was necessary.
Yeah, that was a little dig there. It was a total dig.
Come out swinging.
No, never. Not even anything that resembles ghosty anything. Nothing. And I want it bad. I used to Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Okay. I don't know if this belongs on a podcast or a stream here. I guess I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, please.
I don't believe in ghosts. I want to believe in ghosts desperately. But when I was
sorry, just reacting, but that's my mice elf gets sleep paralysis.
Oh,
and it when you get sleep paralysis, you picture a demon sitting on your chest.
Oh yeah. Well, you want to know what the majority of ghostly experiences they usually say happens when you're kind of near sleep or waking up from sleep, because it's usually a dream and it's usually not really happening.
Unless dreams are you being awake and awake is you dreaming.
I saw multiple. Well, it's not even that interesting.
You've seen
no. You done alien stuff.
Yeah, I didn't see aliens, but in 2000. Yeah, so in 2000, I was in the Coast Guard. I was stationed on a cutter out of Cape Canaveral. We were way out in the Atlantic. We run what's called darkened ship, so all the lights are off. And when you're out in the middle of nowhere, it you think things are dark, but when there's no light pollution, it's dark. It's really dark. So I'm on watch, probably 3 a.m, and I come to the port side of the cutter. And a friend of mine was over there having a cigarette. And if you ever see somebody having a cigarette in pitch black, it's it illuminates, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of cupping it a little bit, and we both are kind of looking out. We're talking, and all of a sudden we see these.
We have any porn music that we can put over this, or no? Go ahead.
We see these 6, maybe 7 lights on the horizon that literally came out of nowhere, man. I mean, they were what we now know as Tic Tacs, the declassified videos that talk about Tic Tacs. They came out of every direction and they lined up perfectly on the horizon, perfectly in a line. They stayed there for 5-10 seconds and then they all just dispersed super, super quick. And we both stare at each other and we're like, did you fucking see that? We went up to the radar man and asked him if anything was on radar. Did he have anything that came in? He's like, no. So I've told this story a lot of times, and anyone you tell this kind of thing to, they're they assume you're seeing something.
Yeah.
5 years ago when the, what was it? The Eisenhower, the USS Eisenhower, when the pilots from that ship, started telling the stories of the Tic Tacs that they had been tracking, and for the first time, and they ask at the end of the video, they're like, anybody who's ever had this kind of experience, please write into us. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is literally exactly what we saw. Never had any idea what it could be.
Crazy.
Emailed them and they're like, yeah, we've had people in the Coast Guard report things like this, but it was cool to have some kind of vindication.
That's crazy.
There was something.
So I've actually been kind of I've noticed that there's been a lot of talk of like, oh, there's been released video of actual UFOs and things like that. The government's released them or what. And I honestly, oddly enough, I did not care at all. I just assumed that it was fucking fake, and I didn't really like look into it. Do you guys know? Are those real? Have they been released? And are they factually correct that those are
The Tic Tac things?
Unidentified flying objects, I guess.
UAPs, I think they call them now, unidentified aerial phenomenons.
You talking the Tic Tacs though, Joe?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know
like what Henry was talking about. You're asking about that?
I guess what I'm asking is that like I haven't looked into it enough to call it a Tic Tac. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm trying to ask what you're asking exactly though. Like you're asking if the stories that he's talking about, or if they've like gone deeper and verified that they're a real thing.
Well, yeah, because we're talking about Henry saying something right now. What I'm saying is I saw in the papers and in the news that there was some releasing of actual evidence of whatever we want to call them by the actual government, by the actual Air Force, by the actual people that are more vetted, I guess, than Henry. Like I do believe Henry, but I'm saying, have those been released, and are those true?
There's just more video footage of those things. That's kind of it. That's the extent of it. And it's probably stuff like it was all stuff that made mainstream news, so you've probably seen it all.
Right.
Also, the Pentagon declassified a whole bunch of documents a year ago, maybe within the last 18 months, and they literally said that they are in possession of materials not made on Earth. Like they've said this. What's interesting is it doesn't really get picked up and make significant headlines, but like you can go on yourself and find these documents. There was a guy do you remember the guy, the Israeli scientist last year? This is like a well-known, I think physicist or astrophysicist, like a well-known, maybe even Nobel Peace Prize winning guy, right?
Like Weinstein, Eric Weinstein or something. Might
have been that he works for a university, and he came out and said, this sounds wacky as hell, but he said there's like a coalition of let's just say like aliens, interplanetary species that have a base on Mars that are in communications with the United States, or at least the world, the Earth, but that they know that like if they were to release this, that it would cause like chaos. So they know the time isn't right. And the thing is, this isn't like Henry saying it. It's like a well-known, credible person who's in his 80s, maybe close to 90, who is like, I'm putting this out there because like I don't care anymore. I'm at the end of my life. And you read that stuff, you're like, sounds ludicrous. But so did the idea of putting people in sleep deprivation tanks and giving them LSD.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's kind of like we've always had that sort of. I mean, cool. An 80-year-old guy saying it because he doesn't care anymore is fine. I guess what I'm saying is that like, has there been like these materials released to the general public that we can say like, hey, this shit's real, dude. It's not just fucking people saying it, or hey, we don't have an explanation for this, but we've got some footage of it. Like,
I'll tell you, like the extent of what there is out there now that like makes anything more credible. It's just more and more people who have credentials,
right,
who are like well respected in certain fields that have come out and said, okay, we've gotten to see things, or we've gotten more firsthand info about this, and they're like, yeah, there's something there. That's the extent of what we've gotten.
Yeah,
and then more footage and stuff. So it's interesting. It's like, it feels like there's something going on, but it's like the conversation has shifted now from aliens to more like interdimensional and like time travel-y and stuff. Like that's where the conversation's really gone. It's like there's these theories that it's actually humans, but from way in the distant future or past or something.
Just
and, dude,
like
it's so
Interstellar.
fun. What's that, Peter?
Just like Interstellar.
It's just like Interstellar, dude. Oh my god, I need to watch that. But
I want to watch it again so bad.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah,
I've already
it's
watched it this
wild
year.
shit.
my son was like, we were driving to school the other day, and he was like, "Daddy, can we stop time?" And I was like, "No, we haven't." I was like, "No, we haven't figured that out quite yet." But I was like trying to encourage him to be like, "There's no one been smart enough to figure that out yet. Like maybe you can figure that out." You know what I mean? So I was like trying to push him on a path of like becoming so smart that he can figure out time travel.
He figures out how to stop time. I mean, that's the old Arthur C. Clarke quote, isn't it? Where science fiction is just precursor to science fact. So if you can, essentially, if you can come up with it, then eventually science will be able to fix it, or create it, or invent it, or discover it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all that shit, man. I love thinking about it. I mean, to me, the most likely explanation for all of that stuff is like Chinese or Russian R&D, and we don't exactly know it, or we didn't know it at the time, and it's probably that. But the idea that it's
what is R&D? I can't
research and development.
Okay, thank you.
Like, if you look at the propulsion systems on
Look
some
good with
of these,
acronyms,
like,
huh?
like aerial phenomenons, like you have I mean, you could argue one of the most technologically advanced militaries in the world, if not the most, in the United States, right? With like F-35s, the tracking systems on these planes are like unbelievable, and like they show these Tic Tacs in the air doing things that like we don't have the capability to do, and then going into the water. Disappearing and then coming out. Like it's if it exists, it's kind of crazy to think that somebody is that much further ahead than somebody else.
Okay, so you know what's a bother to me is that we live in such an age where cameras are filming everywhere at all times that if there was actual flying saucers or whatever they want to call it, it would probably be captured in an undeniable sort of way. Like, wouldn't there be like something like if you're flying in an airplane and something flies near it? Like, I just feel like there hasn't been that much of credible evidence in a world in which we probably are the most, we're the most at capturing every moment at all times as we ever have been. So it's, you know, it's hard for me to believe in it right now. I mean, I want to, but I just don't.
I'm with you. I do too. I think but like as far as reports and encounters and, you know, all that stuff, like gone up exponentially, like the past couple decades, like an insane number. And it's like, okay, I hate to say a lot of what I hear on Joe Rogan's show. It's just like he attracts that stuff, right? Like the experts like that, Jeremy Coben, whatever, they go on that show. And so, kind of whatever's out there, whatever is like the latest, you know, kind of greatest news on that front, it's there. But they talk a lot about like maybe they appear in cycles for different reasons, right? And it definitely feels like there's an uptick of that lately. There is very, dude, I'll tell you this, there's very credible stuff. Like there's documents that have been released from other countries like Russia and the United States. And like these are real government documents that they talk about UFOs and they talk about aliens coming down or something, whatever it is, and it disables their nuclear weapons. And like that's not like I heard. There's official documents on that. So
yeah,
that's.
I'd like to play devil's advocate a little bit. Like, if they came down and disabled nuclear weapons, that's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't there be video of some weird fucking alien with some alien fucking tools disabling these? And also, like, why in the vast expansion of time and never-endingness of time would it now be more prevalent that you would get more reports of it? Wouldn't it just always be reports of it?
Well, if it's the time travel thing where it's us from the future, then wouldn't us from the future want to come back and disable our nuclear weapons?
That's when it ramped up. It started ramping up when we started detonating nukes, you know, like in how long ago? But that is directly correlated to when it started increasing.
Also, people have been talking about aliens and sightings for decades, but there wasn't much physical or there wasn't much video proof of it. And those people were called batshit crazy for how long?
Sure.
So I kind of feel like it could be ramping up more, but now people have the ability to actually, you know, get some footage of these things. By the way, Joe, I think most of the stuff that we hear about and see could be BS, but
that's what hurts if there is credible, that's what hurts the credible is the BS. And so like if you ever hear somebody talking about it and then you look at them and they're fucking crazy, you know what I mean? That hurts the case for it. So, but finish your thought. Sorry.
I think you should just watch the video of like the Eisenhower. It's just I feel like when you get credible pilots, people in the military that really have no financial incentive for it, they're just coming out telling their stories with video proof behind it. It hits a little different.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I just, you know, it just bores me so much that it's like just, you know, like shit or get off the pot a little bit with it. It's like wake me up when we have it.
What if it is so big though that they have it and it's like Henry was saying, they literally can't because it changes everything about everything. People won't go to work anymore.
So let me say this. First of all, I want to say to Peter, that was an interesting thought that you were saying that it's not aliens, it's us coming from a different time, which that's interesting.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, but Huda, if that's the case, people have wasted lifetimes of, you know, like their entire lives looking for this evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably should have just been like, I don't care, and I'm going to live my life in a happy way. Like the thing that drives me crazy about a lot of conspiracies and things like that is that it's such a waste of people's time and energy that they could be using for their lives, and they die and there's no fucking answers. And then we have this generation loop and loop and loop of it always. And we're no farther along other than some credible people saying that they saw some weird shit. I mean, you know, it's just tough for me to follow that.
I've just Googled Project Bluebeam and it just made me laugh.
I think I've seen it, and it's wild, but probably
It's
real.
the stupidest fucking thing I've ever read in my life.
Is it
Oh my
really?
God.
I think hang on.
It's so dumb.
Hang on, let me check. I buy into the alien shit for sure. By the way, like brief intermission or hang on, breaking. Something a little. We'll come back to aliens, but something a little fresh to riff on.
Ghosts.
Joe, you're president.
No.
Biden?
Yeah, the Great Uniter.
Okay.
Hang on. We will get a little echo, so let me just give you a warning. I gotta do the unmutey stuff, but here we go. The Great Unifier. Both sides. Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. What's the point? And we see this is like every single day. You're saying like the unity in fucking him, like fuck Joe Biden. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how like I became the supporter for Biden, but I think he's old. I think he doesn't really. He doesn't inspire me all that much.
But a little bit? He inspires you a little? Okay.
No, let me say this about it. Here's what I would say about him, because like I do think he's old, senile, and I would rather not like have someone like that running the country. What I would say is that like there's an argument to be made that like Biden and Trump both are complete idiots that don't really have any sway on the direction of what the country would do, other than emotionally. But the cabinets and the positions that they fill underneath them to actually do the actual work, I trust more so in the Democratic area than the people that have been in the previous party. That's kind of where I'm at with it. But like fucking Biden, I don't like the guy. I mean, I'm not fucking inspired by his bullshit, and I'm disappointed in a lot of the things he's done. But he also did some really cool shit. So you know, I'm okay with that. Infrastructure Act, stuff like that.
Well, my president has an NFT collection.
right. He's actually got 3. He's got Series 3 NFT collections.
This is what blows my mind.
shoes.
This is what blows my mind when we get onto it, and I'm like, that's the choice you've got in
It's so
November.
bad.
It's a
That's
fucking
what you
problem.
got?
I really like RFK a lot, but I'm telling you guys, Ron Paul's the last dude I ever voted for, and I think that guy is the greatest. He's the greatest. He is. He's just fucking awesome.
Just for whatever seeds the most amount of chaos.
I thought you said RuPaul.
No,
to start
but
with.
hey.
I was like,
There's
is pretty great.
There's two types of Republicans that I completely understand why they vote the way they do, which is like people that are like so anti-abortion. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. You vote for what you think is like such a very moral standing in your religious beliefs, and the other ones are kind of the chaos people. You know what I mean? Like the people that are just like, I don't trust governments, I don't trust politicians, so I want it to just be some crazy fuckery. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. So like, I get it, but it's just not where I am, I guess. There's not enough.
I love this take. Any vote is a vote for your enslavement. I had never thought about it that way, but voting for either of them is.
Yeah, the idea that there's two parties and that they actually set up the structure of like where you think like here's the limits of going to the right and here's the limits to go to the left, and that's where we argue in the middle of. I don't like that. I mean, I think Noam Chomsky,
because the argument is that it's chaos outside of that, right?
No, the argument is that like there is no argument outside of that when you should be thinking further away, I think, or have your own sort of thoughts. Like I mean, as much as we joke about things here, I guess I do agree with Henry a lot of times. I do agree with Huda. I do agree. And I love everybody. I think that right now, like politics sucks because like I like my Republican family and friends that I could fuck around with more so before we talked about it all. Like I like that. I come from kind of blue collar. I come from fucking white trashy areas that like I think are fun. I thrive in those corners of the world. So I just don't like it when like we focus on the dumb shit rather than the fun shit that we all kind of like. If we're hanging out and we're having fun, like I dig that sort of perspective.
It definitely feels like, and I wonder whether the access to social media and stuff like that has accelerated it, but it just feels as though like political discourse just permeates everything.
Yeah,
like you can't have a take on like anything without it somehow then some way diverting it into being political, and I hate that shit. That really pisses me off when like I just want to talk sports or movies or ghosts or whatever,
penises
and then
all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
It just permeates, like politics just permeates into it. I'm like,
I just want them to leave me the fuck alone,
dude.
And
because
of that, I like the chaos, because to me, I'm like, the only way we get to leave me the fuck alone is through the chaos, and that might be insane. But I'm like, it doesn't work if we just keep doing this. So like,
politics shouldn't be a part of your everyday life.
Well, that was. Like, that was the point here. Any vote is a vote for your enslavement, because these guys will not. The people that are running right now are not going to leave you alone. They're not going to let you live and be yourself. Let you live and be you.
Well, that's kind of.
Just let us be free. Let us be us.
That's kind of why I like this though. If we have the financial ability to not have to deal with anything, then we don't have to.
Let us be free.
I'm cringe, but I am free.
There we go. That's it.
Yep. What more can you want? Yep. But that's it. That is it to me. And like, obviously,
what was that? What was that video?
Just some furries.
Just furries.
Just furries living free, man. Just doing good stuff.
I like the furries. I hang out with them in VR. You guys remember that stream I did with them?
I do remember that stream.
I should do that again here.
I looked in for like 2 minutes. Like, what am I watching? Yeah. This feels illegal.
Speaking of streams, how was that stream that you went to last night with the Bored Ape Yacht Club?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay, very honestly, I loved it.
Really? How was the gameplay? How was the moving around in there and stuff?
It was exactly how it was years ago, and I mean, let me give you a quick update on this because it is interesting. Nothing changed as far as the movement, the gameplay, all that stuff. It showed me they have not been building shit for years.
Oh, really?
Nothing. But what I did learn too, like news to me, I think they broke up with Improbable, who is the ones that put out that engine, that is their game engine. Okay, because yesterday Garga said, "Hey, we're back partnering, like we're friends again, us and Improbable." And I'm like, "When were you not friends? Right. When did that I don't know if that was news. It must have been, but I never heard that. So that explains why everything stopped and why they hired these gaming people to come in and build out game stuff, because they're like, Improbable ain't doing it with us, and why nothing has been built.
Was there a particular reason why they were partnering with them specifically? Was there something that Improbable was building that nobody else could? Or
yes.
Was it just...
Yeah, very specifically, Improbable is like the only one I've ever seen that can do like the thousands and thousands of people in an instance. Like there's MMOs out there everywhere, but like, they still have a cap of a few hundred in an instance, maybe a 1,000. But the fact that these guys at the peak had 3,000 or 5,000, and then Improbable says you can have 100,000 plus in an instance, that's what Improbable brings. And if you're trying to build the metaverse, then you need that. So I get why they're partnered with them. And again, now hearing that they weren't working together, maybe for a couple years, makes sense why nothing was built. It makes perfect sense. So like, I liked everything I heard here. Starting in July, they're going to have monthly, at least once a month events with like actual gameplay. So like action, like guns running around, shooting each other with thousands of people in at once. So that's pretty cool. They are also definitely doing the Ape Chain. That's going to be on Arbitrum. It is in testnet now. It goes to testnet V2, and I think it's named like Jenkins and then Curtis. It goes to Curtis this month. Okay, and then it goes live in, I think, July. The actual Ape Chain will be live in July. More avatars coming for their assets, right? New types of games. They're opening up the creator tools for a curated group of builders, like people who can build out the content here. So like mini games or environments, something like that, and they'll reward you for doing that, which I like. They got a lot coming, and everything I heard sounded awesome. But again, I just keep coming back to this is exactly what we wanted and what we needed, and why didn't this happen 2 years ago? Because clearly all of a sudden now it's going and you're releasing within a few months. What the fuck were you doing the past couple years?
Well, if it's releasing within the next few months, then they probably have been working on it the last few years.
I don't think so. Because the stuff they're releasing, well, you're not wrong. They definitely said like Project Dragon, which is this action-y game, has been in the works for years, the idea of it. But I think as far as building it out, they said expect it to be very janky. And I don't think they've been putting much into it. And I think that's the chaos behind the scenes with these corporate dudes trying to, like, I think they cut it for that reason. They couldn't get shit done.
I'm not much of a multiplayer gamer.
Can I jump in with a joke real quick, Peter, before you
do
something serious? Project Dragon, did you say? More like Project Drag On. Thank you, Peter. Peter, go on.
Very good. I'm glad I stopped.
Thank you.
I'm not much of a multiplayer gamer, so I will like preface what I'm about to say with that. Like, not really big on multiplayer stuff, but a multiplayer game with 3,000 people in it sounds fucking dreadful to me.
Oh man, yeah.
It sounds so stressful.
Is there places to hide, and like, does it feel like a world, or does it feel like just an open space that you're running in?
It's gonna be both. I mean, this right here, what you're looking at, is very much an open space, but confined. Like, you can't really go outside of what you see there. Ultimately, like, man, we're really far off from that time where, you know, the map of the other deed, or whatever it's called, the other side. That's not happening for a long ass time, where you can just free roam, you know, all around there. It's real interesting. Like, I understand game cycles. I know these things take 5-10 years to build a AAA kind of game, but again, I feel like something got stuck and they were tied up in just red tape and they just got nothing done. And I bet you they even built stuff that gets scrapped entirely, like reset back to zero. Now we're back with improbable. Let's just, this is our direction now.
How was the audio? Was it a guy in the front of everybody talking, and you could kind of hear it booming out over the people?
Yep. You see Garga. It's hard to see, but that's Garga right there in the middle. Giant avatar. I love this dude. I told Henry, I'm like, you guys should do every like meeting instead of on, you know, like a Spaces or Discord VC, like in a metaverse spot. Like, there's something about the energy there with that many people. I ran into, and without it being planned, but the Alva, he was in there. I was running around, saw his name. I saw Jed. I saw Quantum Variant, like a bunch of names I recognize, right? It's just really cool vibe, and it feels live.
Jed. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's got such a cool energy.
I mean, as long as we're on NFTs, I did want to say that I did watch the Azuki video, and I thought it was pretty good. I know that people said it was like kind of boring and stuff like that, but I was pleasantly surprised with how it went. So I just wanted to.
The anime?
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The anime was cool, and the storyline was okay. I don't want to like rag on it or anything like that, but I thought it was decent.
Yeah. I think worth like the investment they put in it, and if they keep delivering quality. So like, it's not going to be like, I think it's not like the same team who did this one is not doing chapter 2. It's like a different group of creators for each chapter of this thing, which is, I think is cool. Star Wars does that with these shorts that they do for their like Tales of the Jedi, which is cool.
I know that you probably want to get into Star Wars, but I was thinking about this with like Marvel's all fucked up, aren't they? Like, Marvel did such a great job up until Infinity or Endgame, and now just fucking shit the bed. Like, fucking
so bad.
I think they're getting it together like right now. I think they finally got their plan, and it sounds cool.
But they haven't released anything good for like 2, 3, 4 years, maybe.
I know you want to. Shang-Chi was pretty good.
I did enjoy that.
I think there was like one other one that was decent,
but nothing that like hit the same.
Never. No.
Right, but I would say like
which is harder and harder to do, obviously.
The origin stories of all the Marvel people in the beginning pretty much sucked. I mean, they weren't not sucked. They were okay. They didn't like do anything amazing. Then the Russo brothers came in with Civil War and Winter Soldier, and I thought that they did a fucking great job. And then they did the 2 Infinity Wars, and I thought they capped it off.
Yep.
Now they're just like fucking. It's just shit. Like Mackie is like yelling at fans, and now he's like. Fucking Jonathan Majors like punched people. It's gone to fucking shit. Everything that went right for him the first half is now just awful.
Well, the best thing they've done.
They started drinking their own Kool-Aid. Like, they got too into themselves. Like,
maybe.
Yeah, and I think they it's like the whole Disney streaming stuff ruined a lot of it too. Like, they just thought, okay, we got to start doing something here. They came up with this plan that was insane, and it was watered down, and then that watered everything down. But I will say,
COVID
the
too.
best. What?
COVID kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
definitely.
True.
Everything.
Dude, definitely. Loki season 2 was like one of the probably I think the best thing that's come out of Marvel since like the Infinity stuff. Loki season 2 is phenomenal.
Loki was
That's
good.
how I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's like very artistically done, and like it's got some great depth to it, and that is the best thing they've done by a mile.
Yeah, Loki was good, and then the Scarlet Witch one was pretty interesting.
That was
too.
decent. Yeah. I like those
Oh, like
shows.
all the different sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah,
that was
that's
fun.
cool.
I feel like every single TV show that they've
yeah.
done that I've watched, I haven't watched all of them, would have been like amazing 6-episode shows, like real tight, real like almost like
Right.
just like an uncut movie length, sort of like director's cut length, where it's like 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever, like that, like 6. There's no way someone's saying the Secret Invasion was good.
No, but somebody said Moon Knight was fire.
Moon Knight,
and I think
Moon
it
Knight
was
really fun, but like a lot of
Secret
them felt
Invasion.
just a little bit flabby. Like
It just
needed
wasn't.
to, like,
It wasn't.
just
There was
cut a little bit out. I'm like, because the stories were good.
They were fine. I mean, everything was fine. It's just that it just didn't. It didn't have those capper moments where it kept you engaged. Like I was on YouTube, like watching the nerdiest people like break down every trailer, break down every movie. I was like all about it. I
Yeah,
was, oh fuck yeah, that's right. I see that guy's thing there doing that, and now that means that Galactus is coming. Like I was all aboard, and now
I was at the cinema at like 9 in the morning to watch Endgame because I just was like, well, I can't be on my phone. I can't look at anything. I can't talk to anyone. I can't do anything until I've seen this movie because I don't want to know a single thing about it until I've experienced it.
Yeah.
Tell you what, this is gonna be fucking awesome. The Wolverine Deadpool movie is gonna be fucking
yeah, now we're
awesome,
talking.
and
I'm ready for that.
I think they finally got direction. I think they're gonna do like X-Men versus Avengers as like their main like story.
A versus
Which would be
X.
cool.
You ever read that comic run? That was cool.
Which one?
It was literally Avengers versus X-Men. It's called A versus
yeah.
X. Like what, 10, 12 years ago or something? Really cool run.
How cool does that look though? This is them fixing it.
If me and Rice Farm are going to have beef over Secret Invasion. Am I thinking of Secret Invasion? Am I thinking of the right one?
I thought it
with
was
Sam
pretty
Jackson?
mid too. No, you're right.
Yeah.
It was
That
awful.
was the girl from House
Game of Thrones,
Game of Thrones, thank you.
who is like,
Khaleesi.
I love her, and like obviously like she's incredible in Game of Thrones especially.
Yeah.
But man, everything she's done since then has like tanked. It's been really bad.
Was that? Yeah, no, there was a fucking there. Oh man, I was gonna be sound. I'm such a pussy, but I watched. There's a movie that she did where there was a paraplegic, and
I've seen clips of this on like social media and shit. Yeah,
she takes care of him, and it's like a fucking beautiful, touching love story. And like I would watch it almost like monthly, and like love it. I was like, I love this.
nice.
What's up, Nathan?
Just have a big cry.
Is that the
Banter.
fucking picture of the prehistoric
Oh,
lady
yeah.
that we want to decide whether or
Yeah.
not we can fight her?
By the way, let me. I want to just give a
Oh
quick.
yeah, this was the question, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah, let me give a quick update message to anybody watching who happens to be new. I have a feeling who's watching is our faithful core community, our family. But if anybody new is here, tuning in for the first time, we do typically talk NFTs and we get pretty deep into stuff. Just feels like a day to just kind of cut loose from that. Just talk some shit. So just so you know, if you're here for NFTs, come back next time too, but hang still. So anyway, Neanderthal lady.
Yeah,
Quick, someone knows an NFT, so it counts.
Yeah, our friends across the pond who invented our language did a nice article on. It's actually interesting. This was a 75,000-year-old Neanderthal woman whose skull was smashed by, they think, like a rock fall. And they think like that she was maybe buried in some sort of like ceremonial thing. I think she was found in Iraq. It's crazy. They use like glue to harden the bone fragments. And then they reconstructed her skull and they 3D printed it. And then they had these like masterminds like do facial reconstruction with like muscles and skin, and that's what you get. Super fucking interesting. But like I was reading it and all I could think was like, do you think it would be possible or within the realm of possibility that like one of us going up against this chick, Shandazar, I think her name is, would stand a chance? Like Like, would this lady rip us apart limb by limb, or like, you know, could we get in the ring?
So by the look of her face next to the other lady's face, it was a very similar size.
It's quite a sensual photo, that.
Right? It moved.
Nice pervs. But like, do they say how tall she was and what she weighed or anything like that?
They said shorter and stockier than the average human. But they said like, you know, because of how human-like they were, that there was breeding between their species and then Homo sapiens. And so like 99% of people would have Neanderthal DNA, because like when you look at her and like you might consider her to be like a little bit, I mean, if you go to the top photo, you'd be like, man, that's like a little bit more rough than I'd be used to. You know, my wife's a little daintier, but like you could see some dude who's kind of like, man, I'm a little horny. I haven't
dude, totally would.
Hold on.
I haven't got my right, would you?
So what do we say? Like, so here's a stupid question. So Neanderthals are not considered Homo sapiens? Is that what you're saying?
Different species.
They're a different species. They're
really?
Not, yeah. So like what's crazy is you look at her and you're like, that is not a Homo sapien. That was a species before. Not just before, they lived at the same time as Homo sapiens.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Was that like here's my ignorant thought was I thought Neanderthals were just of like the Homo sapiens are the same thing. They haven't evolved to the level of which we consider more visually what we consider Homo sapien, I guess. But I just thought they were less evolved humans.
They're a different species of
like
humans.
Split off, right?
Yeah, it's like
and you're saying they were fucking. You were saying they were having sex.
They said they were. We coexisted with them for I don't know if it was 40,000 years.
Okay, I would fuck that person up, no doubt. I would fucking snap her into two.
Her?
Yeah, her.
There's no way.
Wait, in like a sex way or a fight way?
No,
I couldn't really tell from what you were saying.
Both.
No,
Peter, both.
Bot had a good point.
B,
You're not knocking her out.
Capital A, capital F.
Both. Okay. Bob's got it here. Like I'm like, part of me thinks like, all right, like, you know, I'm not a total bitch. I feel like I could like, you know, maybe get a couple punches in, but dude, that brow would probably break my hand.
Yep.
Well,
she'll headbutt you and you're fucking done.
When you're ready to hear my thoughts on it, let me know if you care. I don't care if you care, but I have thoughts on why I would.
I do care.
But, by the way, I read that her nose was bigger. Their noses were larger because in cold environments, it helped to humidify the cold air that they brought in. And I was like, man, it's really crazy how they're just like built differently.
I love this stuff. Like I love learning our history, and I think I at least am believing more and more like we've been lied to about most of our history, which dude, sometime we're gonna have to get into like the pyramids and stuff, right? Like very different story than we all grew up with. But
we grew up with the story that her and us
depends
were
what they're
created
teaching you
on
in
the
American
same day,
schools, boys.
right?
Yeah.
We were taught we were created in 6 days, and that we came from, or she came from a dude's rib bone.
Right.
And then,
I don't believe that. Hold on. Huda, you don't think you could beat her? You don't think you could kill her? Henry, you don't think you could kill her? Peter,
I couldn't beat the one on the left even.
Nice, Huda.
I've been hitting the gym lately. I reckon I could take her.
Yeah, nice, Peter.
How savage would it be though?
I got like what? How much evolution have I got on my side now? Like I got like at least a couple of 100,000 years of evolution, right?
Yeah. So Henry, do you want to weigh in on if you could kill her or not?
I'd like to think that I could like maybe stand a chance, but I just don't know. Like, could her strength rip my arms from their sockets?
I think they got like that gorilla strength, like man, like you know what I mean.
So okay, so let me say this real quick if I can. First of all, if you said that Homo sapiens and they have sex, that means they're not some crazy fucking like ripping your arms off type of people. You can get close to them. You can talk to them in a way, and you can be close to them to the point where you can grab a hold of them. So first of all, if you're saying that we had sex with them, then you're also saying that they have some level of calmness or socialization, let me say. So I think that weakens them to a certain degree, which means that I can get in there. I am I am a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and I do believe that I could take her back, knock her out, and do whatever I needed to do, sexually if I needed to, or physically. So that's my thought process on that.
So your plan is to charm her with your charms.
All I'm
and
saying
then
is,
jiu-jitsu her.
What I'm saying is, Henry dropped a very serious clue in there. And he said that Homo sapiens, and they had sex. That means that you can go to them and there's a loviness to them, right? So that means that they're not just like you're Peter, you're not walking up to a fucking a gorilla, right? Like that's not going to happen in the wild because they would fucking murder you. A bear, you're not walking up to them.
Yeah. You can if you challenge them, innit? Like, you can do like the whole gorilla walk thing and
exactly.
Uganda and stuff, which I'd love to do.
There's a gentleness to them, and I can take advantage.
She's
of that.
gonna fuck you up, Joe, and I'm Joe, worried about you now.
Even like gorillas have sex, right? Like
they mate. Oh, you better believe it,
dude. She is bred different. She is bred to kill.
Built different.
Oh yeah, dude. None of us. I think here's the question. The real question is, could the four of us together take her? That's a maybe. That's a probably maybe. But like any of us one-on-one, no chance.
How much prep time do I get?
None. You meet her in the wild. It's face to face, just like that. Prep. Exactly like this.
Look at Mice Elf getting into the is it the Nephilim or the Nephilim, the giants, the angels that were were they like children of angels that were like savage giants that came down and bred with humans? Was that story, Elf? No, I'm serious. I think that's
getting into on this pod,
the Nephilim. I think that's what they are.
Yeah.
Is it like are we getting like Snoo vibes from Futurama now? Is that what we're saying? Like the Amazonians? No?
I don't know, man. All I'm saying is I could say I could kill her and I don't need the rest of you guys to do it. I would be fine. That's all I'm saying.
I can't wait to ask you later if you actually think like you're serious.
I've been
serious.
Bro, I think if she came out of a portal to the door to your left right now, if she just came out of the portal, I think you might literally shit yourself.
I mean, I would shit myself, but after I was done shitting on myself, I'd clean myself off, and then I would destroy her. If I need to
bite your ear off.
Yeah. Is jiu-jitsu graded the same way that like my understanding of karate is graded, like with the color belts, or is it a different color scheme?
No, first of all, I don't want to get into like ripping on karate, but Brazilian jiu-jitsu is like basically like what's that?
Is that like the capoeira stuff, or is that different?
No, it's basically grappling with like
who in Tekken does Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
Nobody does. No one did. Sorry, bro.
Okay, so bullish bearish
that's my understanding of fight stuff. Is Tekken.
On Joe being able to kick the 75,000-year-old Neanderthals ass.
This is perfect. Joe, you go first.
I'm fucking bullish, baby. There's no question I would destroy her. I don't want to, but I would.
Okay. I am more bearish on that than anything we've ever done bullish or bearish on. Like bearish. It's so laughable. No chance.
Bob Driscoll brought all the facts we need. Yep. Bearish as hell.
I'm bullish on Joe. I believe in him.
Yeah. Listen, dude. Unless I mean, it's come on, joints.
This can never be proven either way. It's entirely hypothetical. So I'd rather back my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, that's beautiful and also insane.
Your money is safe. Your money is safe with me, Peter. Don't worry about it.
Buddha and I are going to run, and you're both going to die.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
Sure.
Guys, we're wrapping in literally 1 minute. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds. I don't have any bullish bearish, so we're going to... Oh, actually, hang on. I have a literal bullish bearish. Bearish? Ooh. Bullish or bearish on this guy surviving the bear attack. Hang on.
What did he do? He just
super fucking cool. Watch
this. Give him the old Kansas City shuffle.
Yeah, check this out.
It's like a cub hub. Just for fun, that intro real quick again when he throws the bear.
Hell yeah.
Bullish, bearish on that guy's survival skills. Joe.
I love, like, obviously the thing kicks in where he's like shouting at it to make him seem more intimidating to the bear. But there's like the initial bit where, quite rightly, he's like, oh, like, oh, shit. Like, it's like, oh shit, it's a bear coming at me.
Yeah, that guy's got great.
Shit.
Now that guy's got a chance against that lady.
Yeah, I back him.
Yeah. Anyway, Joe, bullish, bearish on that guy.
I mean, he survived, I think, so I'll give him bullish, but
Yeah.
it didn't sound very bullish.
Yeah. I'll go bullish as well.
Yeah, bullish.
Yeah.
Bullish. It's really cool. It's a similar video. Have you seen the one where somebody's getting chased? I think it might have been fake, but someone's getting like chased by a bear on a bike.
Yep. I remember that actually. Yeah,
Like a horror film.
It is fake, but it was cool as hell. Oh, we should come next week, do some homework, bring some wild videos, like find the wildest shit on TikTok and YouTube and wherever else, bring it. Well, Fridays, if they're not this, which maybe they shouldn't be this the whole episode, but there should be a segment that is this. Yeah.
The YouTube comments on this video, like during the stream, have been
it's
wild.
It's going to be ridiculous. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. Appreciate you tuning in. Like, we crossed 1,800 not viewers. I'm not going there, but subscribers on the channel. So thank you guys very much for that. I will be live tomorrow morning and Sunday morning, 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. And then you will see us next week, sans Henry, who will be in Hong Kong. Maybe he'll be checking in, though. So hoping so. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and an amazing, Hong Kongish, man. But have a fantastic May the 4th, guys. We'll see you next time. See ya.
Later.
Peace.
We're the non-fungible idiots, don't you know? Banging our heads to the rhythm of the code. We don't care about dollars or the shiny blade. We're just holding to zero. It's our everything. Round tripping positions, that's how we roll. We won't make $1, won't sell a thing. We're the zero